There are those that just want to be left alone, and those that just won't leave them alone. Which one are you? The Ernest Hancock Show.
Welcome back to Declare Your Independence. We're going to get right to it. Let me just show you some pictures so I can get this, out of the way here. I want to make sure you see this stuff. Now, for those of you on video. Now, this is the cover of Rocketeers. Now, it features some rocket planes that they're doing now, and it's called, a lot of people don't, it's amazing what you don't know. They call it the Rocket Racing League. What they wanted to do is they wanted to be able to have the innovation in spacecraft that could go to orbit and back down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And what better way to get the innovation than competition? It's like NASCAR and how you get developments with, buy my new Audi or my new Acura or my new whatever with all the racing blah, 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 Toyota, whatever innovations we got on NASCAR and how we took that suspension and that engine and that overhead cam, de la, blah, whatever the heck it is, we got all that kind of great stuff for your family car. So what they decided to do is they took on the NASCAR model and they created what they call the Rocket Racing League, and they started building the planes. Now, they burn, I think it's a combination of kerosene and liquid oxygen, and the one thing that they had is the way it works is it's like an hour race, and you have to have, I think it's at least 4 pit stops, and you hit your engine, and then you cut off, on, off, on, off. It's efficient use of thrust in the turns and the course that they do around the stadium. And of course, we're going to be doing it at the spaceport, I'm sure. So what they do is you're watching it, but it's also online. And this has been featured on MSNBC. And so, I'll pull that up during the break, and I'll show you the video. You will be amazed. It is amazing because you can watch it from home, and you can compete in an online video game and race them yourself live. I'm going, oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's going to be fun. So what they did is they started building these machines. Now, of course, they use kerosene because it leaves a big, giant, long, visible plume so you can see the planes racing. They go low, high, and around mountains, whatever. Now, the reason is because the refueling, when you come down, that's what takes a long time. Refueling the liquid oxygen, going in, and so on. And they're coming up with techniques that they can do a quick pit stop, and boom, they're back up to space. So that's what, one of the reasons why they wanted to do this is they wanted to be able to have innovations in rapid refueling. So they created the Rocket Racing League. The planes are being constructed now. They've already taken them to Oshkosh plane air shows and so on and showed them off. They have, every summer, they have a big space camp thing going up in the New Mexico desert, and they highlight this. Now, who gets involved? Of course, here comes the Air Force, and they're out there showing off their goodies, trying to recruit people, But it's, when we went to this, we wanted to make sure that we're going to space and government is not invited. Now, this is the party in the hangar after they had done it. I'm showing you the sign that I'm holding up, and next to me is Dean. I don't know if you can make him out there. He may not want you to. And the person I'm talking to is one of the astronauts. Then we are going to space, not invited. What's some of the other? Oh, yeah. In space, you can't hear the government scream. That was one of my favorites. And then here is Burt Rutan. He's came by and got the sign from me. He took it from me. Now, Discovery Channel is called Into the Black. It was a documentary. And in that documentary, you can see him taking the sign from me. So somebody bought that documentary or saw it on TV or something and told me about it. So I ordered it. There was 2 documentaries, and we got all this on tape, man. It's just awesome. Now, here's a picture of the Spaceship One, the actual craft that detached from what they call White Knight. It was a mothership, and there's a custom-built plane. Burt Rutan built this, too, that carries the Spaceship One up to about 70,000 feet before it drops and the rocket motor hits and it goes up into space. The future brought to you by Free Enterprise. We had a bunch of signs that we made. Now, after this was over, because we had these signs, we just walked into the party with all the billionaires, and we're just hanging there holding the sign up. I just wanted to make sure the message was clear. Spaceship One, government 0. Burt loved that sign. He grabbed it, and he went to a press conference later. Now, this is where Michael Before was at. He was at that press conference, so he wasn't in the hangar when we were there. He didn't see it. So he doesn't have the perspective from the fans that were out in the field by the thousands. You know, he said there was 20,000 people there. There's at least 10,000. I mean, I don't know how to gauge. You know, you got to get an aerial and start counting. But there was a lot of people there, more than they expected. And because nobody knew about it. It was just online. And I remember I was doing my radio show because in 1998, the summer of 98, I was back in Washington, D.C. for my brother-in-law's wedding. We went to the Air and Space Museum. That's one thing you got to do. Take the kids, drag them in there, go and, you know, touch stuff and go have some fun. While I was waiting for them at the big glass wall, that's the entrance. You have, you know, in between the two entrances, it was probably 40 feet from both entrances. Nobody ever went over this little 3-foot high plaque that was on a little monument there at like a 45-degree angle. And I'm looking at it, and it talked about the Anasari X Prize. We're going to space, private, no government money, 2-week turnaround, no more than 10% of the weight of the craft to be changed, minus the fuel, and you got to take the weight of 3 people up. And I go, here we go, because that's how they did. Aviation got sparked with Lindbergh. That's what that was all about. It was a $25,000 prize, which now is, I don't know, what's it now? Probably $10 million. So the thing is that now we're going, all right, I was waiting for that, and then when I saw Burt Rutan was going to be involved, I knew it was over. Here we go, because he's a big innovator in aviation, you know, my whole adult life, even when I was in high school. So I'm going, all right, we'll keep an eye on this. We talked about it on the radio, and so on. I was excited about it then as I am now. And then the following summer, June, they said, yep, we're going to launch the first one. So I announced it on the radio, I said, we're going. So a bunch of people, you know, we had a couple of vehicles. We rented the van, and it was Pal Gamble, senior editor of Freedom's Phoenix. This is before Freedom's Phoenix even started. Pal Gamble rented the van, and we all piled in. I took my 2 sons. Dean went, and then Michael Kilsky and his family went in their Suburban. We met a bunch of, like, Vince Miller from ISIL, International Society for Individual Liberty. He came. We had one guy that had gone to the Freedom Summits before, flew in from London to meet us there. We had, you know, we just had a good time with this. So we're there, and we were the only ones with signs. The only other signs there was selling binoculars or something, you know. So we were there with signs, and we had it all going on. We were just very excited. Well, of course, here come all the press. All the press had to get, but it was all foreign press. It was Germany and Italy and Japan, everybody, China. We were on the front page of China newspapers. Not a word in the U.S. press. A little mention here, and then it hit Popular Science a little bit, and maybe this magazine Vanity had a little something, and that was it. I mean, if you get a weather delay on a shuttle, you get more coverage. So I'm going, man, there's something going on. What the heck? Well, you know, we started keeping track of this. We could see what was going on. As I was talking to the people there, they were asking me about our signs and all that kind of stuff. And I go, look, I understand what's going on here. It's privatization, man. We got as fast as possible. Don't be looking to the government to help or, you know, passing laws or making it. There was a guy there that he came in and he said, we went to Washington, D.C., and we asked them for permission to go in the space, and they go, well, we don't have we don't have a form for that. Just go. Because they did Voyager that he did around the world and no fueling, remember? Yeah, he just said, file the flight plan and went. They go, no, we need a letter from you saying we don't need a letter. I go, what are you, stupid? Stop. Oh, I promise we'll get the detail about the trip when we come back.